Good morning. I want to get on here. Happy Monday. I want to get on here and do a quick update for you guys. Check in, see how everything's going. As of right now, we have no information out of Harney County, so nothing's changed there. I want to do a quick, just kind of talk about that. And so there's been no change, and which is it's good and bad. Obviously, we're hoping that everything goes the way we need it to go. And so for all you guys just tuning in, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys can see me, please let me know. And that's the comments kind of help drive this thing out. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are having a great Monday, good start to the week. And so kind of here's where we're at. And these are the things I'm kind of looking at. And so I've been watching obviously the response around the country to what just happened last week. And so there's things that we have to be mindful of is there, there's increased talks about further restrictions of your 2A rights. And so that thing is the problem with the tragedies is it gives them the emotional support that they need to further restrict. And so that's something where we have to be, we have to be aware is how, tragedies like this can drive policy. Okay. The problem is it doesn't necessarily drive good policy. And so that's, kind of something I wanted to briefly touch a base about. And so thank you guys for tuning in. And so things that we have to be aware of here in Oregon, right? So there's, I've got ears in the Oregon legislature. It's going to be a short session this year. And so we are, we have 35 days or so that they're going to have to, implement any kind of bad legislation. And so it's going to be a really fast pace. There's going to be lots of stuff that's going to be coming at us very, very quickly. So we have to be on top of the ball to make sure we keep this stuff in front of us. And I'll try to keep you guys as updated as best I can as more stuff rolls out and as we get closer to the legislative session. So the hard date probably is going to be the end of November. So we're almost a month out. That's where they're going to have all their legislation ready. And so, that's going to be their gearing up for the beginning of the new session. So it's really, really important is right now we're just trying to analyze, we're trying to figure out, OLIS hasn't been really populated yet with new legislation. So we have to kind of look for placekeepers. Typically a placekeeper when it comes to guns, it's going to be in the Judiciary Committee. It's going to be also in the Ways and Means because that's how they fund it. And so this is all stuff that we have to be mindful of. And so I'm going to be spending some time really kind of diving into that next couple weeks to kind of make sure I have everything in front of me. The one thing that I'm seeing right now, I saw I'm still need the text. Everything it's so new, but I want it in front of people so they know there was a suicide prevention bill that has some form of gun control in it. And so I'm working on putting that all together. And so we have all the information in front of us so we can make a good educated decision when it comes to this stuff. Realistically, none of this stuff is really designed to help. It's more to, as we saw with Measure 114, it's to make your life difficult. It's supposed to affect your ability to do with the stuff that you do. Also, when it comes to personal protection, affect your magazine capacity, in regards to Measure 114. So none of this stuff is truly meant to go after the criminals. It's meant to go after you. And so that's where you have to be aware, and you have to make sure that you guys are part of this process. It's really, really important. And I think that we did a really, really good job, last year. I mean, we're getting our legs under us for figuring out how to, navigate OLIS. There's all these things that we should be celebrating, and we're going to celebrate them, but we're also going to make sure that we use them to our advantage again. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys have a good week. And it's just, I was already set up for a video because I just did a video somewhere else. And so I want to kind of hop on here and just kind of touch base, and let people, one thing I noticed over the weekend is, in the group is there's a lot of, people are tense, and I get it. What's happening, what happened last week where, with the shooting there, back east in Maine is it put all of us in a position where we feel like we're under attack again. And we're, instead of figuring out, what went wrong, and, there's a lot that went wrong. There's a lot that they should have known to stop this potential threat, yet they didn't. And now all of us feel like we're on our back feet again, and feel like we're going through this whole process. It's a roller coaster. And so, I know it's not easy for people, and I know people, last thing they want to do on a Saturday or Sunday is focus on this stuff. But we have to realize is the information never takes a day off. The people that are seeking to disarm you and take away your rights, they don't take days off. They're very organized. They're very, very well funded. They're using technology to their advantage. So we just have to be aware of that. So hi Tracy, thank you for tuning in. I hope all is well with you. And so be ready to go back into the Capitol building, because when it's time, we're going to need you there. And so, that's kind of where I'm at. Is there, there's a full on assault on us, and it comes in many, many different forms. It's going to come when the legislature starts, it's going to be in a legislative form. The media is doing their part, doing what they're designed to do, and that's to divide us and to manipulate the whole situation. And then we have the other side, the I call them the gun grabbers, right? They are actively fundraising off of these tragedies. They're using the tragedies to build their networks, to fund their coffers, and pay for all this stuff. One thing I found very, very interesting about this is I was surprised. I put the email in here that I got originally from them. It came from Students Demand Action. It was close to 24 hours before the first email came out. And so I thought that was kind of weird, because typically, as soon as something like this happens, they just pounce. Okay. One thing I want to make clear to you guys is, so the first one came from Student Demand Action. The next day, I got one from the CEO of Moms Demand Action. And what she did is she just basically forwarded the email from the Students Demand Action. And so that was, there was no new message. It was just her forwarding it. It went to my email. So it was basically the same email that I had already gotten, that I already put in the group, but it just came directly from the CEO of Everytown and Moms Demand Action. Okay. So I thought that was very, very interesting, because, if we look at the information, right, if we read the tea leaves here, that means either the first one didn't get the response that they were hoping for, because every time they send them out, I guarantee they're looking at the analytics. They're looking at, what was the bounce rate in the inboxes. They also probably look at how much revenue is generated from the donation button on those emails. And so I find that, very, very interesting is what, why put out the same message, I guess. And so, if I'm being kind of analyzing this stuff, makes me think that their message either didn't get the desired effect, or they felt like it was such a good message that they had to double down on it. One of the two. And so I feel that their message on the first one that I put in there, it missed the mark. And I feel that the reason they would double down on that is it either they're trying to use the student voice, because what we have to realize is they're going to use teens, young adults against us. And so that's where we have to be aware of that, because what they typically do is, what they'll do is they'll put the kids in front, because how do you push back against a kid, right? And so, because it makes us look bad, makes us look like we're heartless, that we don't care, which we really do. We all care. We never want any of this stuff to happen, but we have to look at the optics. And from an optics standpoint, it makes more sense for them to put the youth out front, because how you argue with that, even though we all know that most of these people that are are new to voting, they definitely don't know anything about firearms. So there's a lot to this. And so I just wanted to bring it up for conversation. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. That's I want to kind of keep this short. I just want to do a kind of a quick thing. And oh, absolutely, Cliff, 100%. And so what they do, it's all, and that's where we have to be smart, right? Is if we can out educate them and out re-educate them, that's how we're going to win, because obviously they don't want to have a debate in the arena of facts and data. That's not where they want to be. They want to be in the lane of fear and emotion. Okay, that's the way they, because when they have their groups in fear and emotion, they're easier to control. People act emotionally, they make poor decisions. So they're more likely to give of their hard-earned money in that situation. So there's a lot go into that. So that's a really great comment, Cliff. Is yeah, this is all by design, and the sooner that we figure out how we get better at our messaging, and let's see. Absolutely, that's great, Kyle. So I guess my question for you, Kyle, is how do we, the Oregon gun owner, how do we capitalize on that? How do we bring them to our side? Okay. And so one thing we want to think about is quality over quantity. Okay. I would rather have 1,000 quality people that I believe in that are going to support our two-way rights, because they're going to vote the way we vote, right? And they can't vote. They might not vote everywhere. Like, they might not vote for our choice for governor, but when it comes to gun issue, we can count on them for our votes, right? And so this is where we have to be smarter as and more effective as advocates, is how do we attract those votes where we can say, hey, I know we don't see eye to eye on everything, but on this one subject matter, the two-way, can I count on you for your vote? Okay, that's where we have to do really, really better and at capitalizing on this situation. I mean, there's a lot of people that are waking up. They're seeing, what's happening in their cities and their neighborhoods where they don't feel safe. They know their only ability to protect themselves and their families is the firearm. And they know that law enforcement cannot always be there. And so that's where they're starting to wake up. So that's a really, really good thing for us. And so we have to welcome them, but we also have to, what we do is get them on our side, right? And we have to say, okay, so you're here, we need you. Okay. That's how we're going to grow this base. That's the biggest thing. So, I really like what you're doing, Kyle. I like that you're in the mix with a lot of groups that are, that we really need. And we need them to see the importance of our two-way rights and the fact that, none of these new restrictions have done anything to move the needle in a way to make any of us safer. They're actually going the opposite direction. And so, it should be our goal as advocates is how we get them on our side. And when it comes to this situation, they don't have to vote every way that we vote, because we're all different people. But if there's a couple key issues that we can get them to come our way, that's how we're going to win. And so it's a numbers game, and we have to get more people involved. That's the biggest thing. And we also have to show up and vote. All of us, we have a duty to make sure that we vote. We have a duty to make sure our neighbors vote. We have a duty to educate the people of the importance of their vote. I know there's a lot of people that don't feel that their votes matter, and I totally understand it. I get it. But the fact of the matter is we're losing by such a slim majority that, it's really, you can say that your voice does matter. Okay. We in Measure 114, we lost by about 20,000 votes. Okay. So of the 20,000 people that didn't show up and voted, your vote could have made a difference in that situation. We never would have had the last year of what we had to go through, spent the millions of dollars that we had to spend on litigation if people would just show up and vote. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know you guys all get this stuff. A lot of this stuff I'm just bringing up for conversation and just to kind of check in. It makes me feel better when I can do these videos. I hope they help you guys. And because I do a lot of time watching, like I get alerts on my phone, which I pay attention to more than I really should. When stuff, like when I put stuff in the group that's kind of, puts people at odds, and there's lots of infighting and all this stuff. And I'm like, and I just watch and I don't engage. I just watch and I just see, where people's heads are. And, it's just, they have the right to say what they're going to say. I totally get it. And I support it, but, we're all on the same team here. And so, us should not be fighting in the comment section on these posts. We should be saving that energy. And I know it's not easy to do. And so that's why I always give a pass, unless it's really like, only time I would step in and delete a comment is if it's a threat of violence. If it's something that's going to get the group in trouble because the bots, I'm going to pull it, so that's why we've gotten better. But certain times when I put stuff in there that I know it's going to be a hard read for people, that's when, there's a lot of like comments that I delete, and so we just have to be careful. We don't want to lose the group, because it's a really good resource for people and gives them the ability to learn more about what's happening here in Oregon. So we want to protect that, but we also have to understand how, how our comments can be used against the group, and a lot of this is understanding. I think this is one thing I've learned a long time ago, is how this, altered state of reality that on Facebook, right? It's not reality. Okay. And so I have learned, I learned a couple years ago to not put a lot of stock in it. Okay. So I have to understand everything you see here is designed to manipulate your mind. It's designed to, we have ads that want you to buy things. When it comes to, bad articles that upset you, that's what drives ad sales. Okay. So, the titles of these stories are going to be misleading. It's all by design because they want you tuned up, because they know that if you're mad, they're going to get more clicks, and that's how they drive their sales. Okay. So that's where we have to understand. Okay. This is all a game. Okay. This is all we're all being played in this situation. So if you guys can understand that, you're going to be better off. You're going to sleep better. You're going to have less stress, and life is going to be a lot better. Okay. I'm just saying that. Okay. So it's being able to step back and say, hey, this is not reality. And I know there's a lot of good information out there that we share in the group, right? But there's also stuff that can affect us. And so we just have to be aware of. We have to be aware of that. So that's all I will say there. So, I just want you to know what we're up against here and how this stuff can be used against you. And so other than that, I'm probably going to get off here unless you guys have any other questions or comments or concerns. Um, I do have a thing coming up on Veterans Day. If you guys are interested, this is our 5th year. So a friend of mine and I, we put on a ruck every year in Eugene. And so on Veterans Day, we are going to be rucking, and we start at Skinner's Butte Park. I can put a link in there if you guys want to join us, and it's open to the public. And so what we do is we meet at the war memorial there. We do a little speech, and then we start rucking, and then we end up back there, and then we go to local breweries, and then we celebrate what it is to be a veteran. So if you're a veteran, would love to join us. I'd love to see you guys there. That's going to start at 3 p.m. on a Veterans Day, which is 11/11, and so November 11th. And so if you guys want to join us, it's a lot of fun. It's free of charge, and we hike up to the top of Skinner's Butte. We do the Pledge of Allegiance. There's going to be some speakers, and then we continue on our ruck, and we do that every year. And so that's something I always look forward to is doing that. So I'll put more information if you guys want to join us. It's a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie. It's celebrating our veterans. So that's something that's really, really important to us is we thank them for their service. We also let them know that they're not alone, and we're here and we care. And so that's what I do as well. So we're gonna that event's coming up. I'll put that information here. You guys can join us if you'd like. And so other than that, I don't know if you guys have anything. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great week. I'm looking forward to this week. Yeah, Tracy, it's a lot of fun. And this is our 5th year, and it's the Veterans Eugene Vet Ruck Eugene. That's our the name of our organization. And so we do that, and EPD is going to be there, so they're going to actually lead us. They're going to have some motorcycle cops. They're going to lead us in a procession, and it's a lot of fun. We'll have American flags there. Everybody's going to be in good spirits, and it's all about celebrating our veterans and letting them know that we care, and celebrating the service. So that's what we do. So other than that, if you guys don't have anything, I'm gonna get off here and let you get back to your day. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm hoping that we have some news coming out of Harney County relatively soon, and once we get that, we'll do a big whether it goes our way or it doesn't go our way, we'll have a big thing, and look out for that. As soon as as soon as everything drops, we will let everybody know so we can kind of pay attention to that. I've already spoke with Anthony. We're going to do a video together, so we'll kind of break it down and what it means. It's hopefully we'll all be celebrating together, right? So that's my hope. But no matter what happens, this is not the end of the saga, and so we just have to be prepared and know that what happens is not going to be the end, and we're going to go on. Either way, we're going on to the next court, and so either way, we're going on to federal court. So unless it gets kicked back, so that's just something that we just got to know, and hopefully, knock on wood, there's nothing that comes out in the legislature. And so we just got to make sure that we're together and we're united on that. I don't know what we're going to do in that situation. So I'm going to try to keep all the information in front of me so I can get it to you guys, and so we can stop this stuff. So we're in it together, right? We're in it to win it. And so when I say win it, I mean stop this madness. Okay. None of this stuff is going to do anything to help any of us, and it's not going to make any of us more safe. It's all a ploy to disarm you, and that's what they want. So other than that, I'm gonna get off here. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.